Welcome to the next project and episode 4 of the Epiphone Les Paul Reneck project series, codenamed Juvenile Delinquent. We are getting the neck stuck back on the body and got some custom things going on here, there, everywhere. Ooh boy, as we start the next project. Well, here we are. We're wrapping up the final shaping work of the back of the neck. We have done a lot of little bitty things, the heel and the volute and shaping the headstock and all that stuff. But now we're really finalizing the main shaft shape along the length, and it's going pretty good. We've probably got around another hour in this final sanding and shaping part. So about 2 hours total in the shaping of the neck, from being the big block of wood and running it through our shaping fixture and all the different sanding steps, and now with this. Ooh, and look, a caulk tube with sandpaper on it. Yeah, I am high tech. Using whatever tools I happen to have. Again, a caulk tube. I also used a Shinto rasp with this, and also, what do they call it? It's like a dragon rasp. It's a pointy, coarse rasp. I don't know what it's really called. Amazon cheapy thing. Works really well. Card scrapers or cabinet scrapers, whichever you prefer to call them. And just a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, getting into my work. But it's going really well. Overall, really enjoying the shape of this neck and the way it's turning out. So we're getting really close. There will probably be just a little bit of really fine sanding right before I put some stain on it, but that's a few days down the road yet. Here we are, some pencil marks just so I can find any high or low spots. Giving it a little bit of sanding, running the length of the neck here, just looking for any weird little anomalies, and a little more sanding. We're finally doing some sanding. It's about time. Hope you enjoy it. I'll let you enjoy it. Okay, I'm going to shut up now. Oh, look at that. I'm using a straight edge basically and a light behind it. And this helps me verify the shape, the roundness, if I'm offset to one side or another or whatever the case may be. Anyway, it's looking really good. Using an original template for this headstock, 3D printed template actually, mark out where the tuner holes are going to be. Here I'm just running a pencil through the little marks that I made. And we're going to be ready to drill some holes right about there. Over to the drill press, and I'm starting out this process using a brad tip bit that is just a little undersized of my final hole dimension. What I'm doing is I'm drilling like 95% of the way through, just enough to get the tip of that bit to poke out the other side. Then when I'm done with all my holes on this side, I'll flip the whole neck over and finish the drilling from the backside. That way I don't have any accidental tear out. Yes, there are other ways to do it, but this is what I'm doing today. So here I'm finishing off the initial bores, and then I'll be going upsizing to the finish drill bit size, and that is just basically just a hair bit larger than what I'm doing here, which gives me a nice clean finish hole. So just to recap a little bit, the original bit that I used is a wood cutting brad tip bit, and I'm finishing up with a high-speed steel bit that you would use for drilling through metal. So this is my final dimension. Doing a quick installation of all of the tuners, making sure everything fits, and then I will also be going through one by one and making sure I have the alignment exactly the way I want it. Then I can mark for the anchor screw, the little screw that goes in the housing, screws into the back of the headstock. I'll be able to get those all marked and aligned, and then I'll be able to pre-drill the holes. Tuners will be ready to go in when the guitar is finally finished and painted, so doing little steps here and there along the way. I keep looking at it and verifying that I have the slight angle to all the tuners just the way I want them. Now we're ready to prep the drill bit. I'm going to put a little piece of tape on it as a depth gauge so I don't drill too deep. Don't want to drill out the other side of the headstock. That would be bad. So working with the owner, we went through a few different ideas about what to do on the headstock of this. He didn't want Epiphone or Les Paul or anything called out on here. We kind of wanted to go with something unique, something special to him. So I did a bunch of research, did up some sketches. He had initial little icon, kind of logo looking thing that we worked on a little bit, but I found a really nice graphic, which we'll be seeing here in a little bit. To prepare for that graphic, I needed to seal the face of the headstock really well. So I used some UV Cure grain filler sealer, put on a couple coats, hit it with my little UV flashlight, got it dry, scuffed it back, repeated the process a couple times. And what it did is it helped get rid of any loose grain fibers, filled in any little defects or voids in the lumber. Also gave me a nice smooth finish to go to the next step, which will be paint. Just a little bit of hand sanding. Don't get too excited. This is really not sanding. This is just preparing for paint. You got to do all the little things you can. So this is sanding out the UV sealer, and now I'm taping it up quickly. I had gone to a local auto parts store and had them match the color of the body, so I can shoot just a little bit of color on the headstock, just kind of a color match. It's kind of interesting. They used a scanner kind of thing on the body, and what that did is it chose something that was kind of close from that particular manufacturer's catalog. But then the technician that was mixing the paint was looking at it going, that's not quite close enough. So he did a little tweaking to get it a little bit closer, and he did a pretty good job. But anyway, here I am taping it up, taping off the binding and the excess wood area that I don't want to get paint on, getting it ready to spray a little bit of single stage automotive urethane. And the difference between a single stage and dual stage is this is the color and the shine all in one application. You don't have to put a clear coat over this. You can, but it's not necessary. So this is just kind of a high build finish. And there it is, just a couple quick coats just to give it some color. Side dots and marker dots, those are two things I always maybe I try to forget about. I'm not sure. I usually put them off until it's almost too late, and then I do something about it. Is that procrastinating? I've been doing a lot of experimenting lately, trying to come up with different black fret marker dot inlays for the LP Juvenile Delinquent neck. I actually have a white circle with black dot in it. I have a standard just black dot, and I've got a whole bunch of other things that I've been mixing up, various epoxies with either obsidian, basically black glass shards, or what is it called? Black onyx metallic flake. I'm trying a lot of different things. And honestly, these dots are still so small. They're 1/4 inch dots, but you get very little bang for the buck. You can do a lot of work to create custom inlays, and they all basically look like just a standard black dot when you're done. So after a couple of weekends of messing around trying to invent something, reinvent the wheel, I'm going back to just using standard black 1/4 inch inlay dots for the neck. So burned a couple of weekends and mad chemistry, crazy science. We're going right back to where we started. Couldn't reinvent the wheel. Well, let's continue the next project. The black dyed epoxy has dried out, and I'm scraping it away with a sharp razor blade, knocking off the excess. And look at all of the experimenting that I did, only to go back and use black dots. All right, getting pretty excited here. More sanding. It's already over. Darn it. We gotta love our sanding. We need more sanding. Again, tape, lots of tape, adding more tape. Ooh, this is interesting. This is going to be the headstock graphic. And I printed out 3 up on a piece of water slide decal, laser printed, shot 3 coats of spray can lacquer over that, let it cure out good. Now I'm mixing up some clear coat, which is a automotive clear coat. Give it a couple quick wet shots. And while that is still wet and just tacking up a little bit, I'm taking my water slide decal and starting the soaking process, which only takes about 15 or 20 seconds for the backing to release from the decal itself. Propping up the headstock a little bit so I have an almost flat surface to work on. Pulling the decal out of the water bath. And I had stuck a couple little bamboo skewers, one on either end of the graphic, so I have a handle. It helps keep the big graphic flat. And there we are, just dropping it right on. A little shop towel, paper shop towel, working out air bubbles and the water. Now, I did drop this on top of a reasonably wet, tacky, but still soft, urethane clear coat. So the idea here is that the decal will bite into, or the urethane clear will bite into the decal and permanently fuse it. The two will become one. Trimming away a little bit of the excess before everything gets dry and hard. And we're just going to let it sit for a few days. Actually, I probably came back to it the next weekend. Plenty of drying time. It's looking kind of cool. I think I just mentioned that I quite often put off side dots and marker dots and everything. It's one of those things I should seek counseling maybe. Got to figure out why I do that. So anyway, marked a center line down the length of the side binding and then marked off where all of the face marker dots are. So I actually put a side marker dot in the right place. And now going through locating and using, double checking my work, or maybe this is a triple check, I don't know. Putting a drill mark in everywhere, and now I'm going through with appropriate size drill bits for the, a ABS or plastic side marker dot material. And I'm using acetone to melt this in place. I used one of those little suction cuppy, I forgot the name of them again. Anyway, and then I dipped the end of the plastic side dot material in the acetone and pushed it into the hole, and it kind of fuses itself right in there. Doing a little razor blade action, nipping things off and shaving it down to size. We're getting close. Starting to look pretty good. We are at a point where we're about ready to set the neck into the Les Paul juvenile delinquent body. Right before we got to this point, I was visiting with the owner, and Bigsby came into play. So we're now not going to do a standard setup with a tom and stop tail piece. We're adding a Bigsby to this, so I suggested we go with a roller bridge instead. Since the Bigsby will have some strings doing a little bit of this. Don't need to be sawing notches into a standard tune-o-matic saddle type setup. So, good time to figure it out, because roller bridges are quite often just a little bit taller than a standard tune-o-matic type bridge, at least the saddle height. So, I need to take into account my neck angle to get my string action and everything set up where it kind of should be. So, great time to find all this out. And at the moment, I've got it clamped in here, originally set up for a tune-o-matic type bridge. I have my handy dandy length of carbon fiber rod, and I projected the neck surface to the bridge, and with the roller bridge on it, the neck angle is just a hair lower than I would like it. But there's other variables. Right now, the press-in inserts that go into the body, the bushings that the posts screw into, still have the shoulder on them. We are going to be removing the shoulder so we have a cleaner look, which will allow the inserts to screw down to the body just a little bit further, like maybe another 1.5 millimeters, which will again lower the bridge, which would pretty much make my current neck set angle perfect. But the unknown is a variable. Good to know before we glue things together as we continue the next project. Some of the little details of the process that otherwise would go unnoticed or unknown. In this case, removing the shoulder from the press-in bushings or inserts that go into the body. The part that's in the body that the threaded posts go into to hold up the two pneumatic bridge and also the tailpiece. And now I've realized that since we are going to be going with a Bigsby, I will need to move my ground lead, potentially. So I'm moving it to where the roller bridge is going to go. And I will still have a ground line to where the stop tailpiece goes. I'm going to put that in just in case this guitar ever gets retro back to a regular two pneumatic bridge and a stop tailpiece. So thinking to the future just in case. Here I've measured the depth of the holes and also the depth of the insert bushing that gets pressed in. Figured out the difference, and I made a little plug that goes down in there so these inserts can't sink too deeply into the body, so they hammer right flush to the top of the body. Now you might be saying, hey, I didn't see you put a wire in there. Yeah, that's true. You saw me drill a hole. No wire went in yet. The wire will go in another day. This is still test fitting of everything. And these insert bushings, man, they go in tight. They are a great fit. Part of the new bridge, the thread-in inserts there. And now we're going to start test fitting everything. And this is where my time goes. A lot of refinement. Refinement is good, right? Well, hopefully it's good. We're going to make it good. So what I'm doing here is verifying the surface of the fingerboard to the bridge. Now this is not the top of the frets nor the string action to the bridge at this point. It's the surface of the fingerboard to the bridge. So I'm taking that into effect, and also the alignment of the neck to the bridge. That's really important as well. We've got the neck fitting really well to the body. Neck angle and alignment are perfect. Couldn't be happier with that. We're ready to glue the neck in now, and I'm going to use two different glues to do one job. I'm going to use regular Titebond in the bulk of the neck pocket, which is kind of a normal process for most of us. And then up on this little ledge where there's just a little bit of body material exposed due to the offset tenon of the neck, I'm going to use an epoxy, and the reason for that is because the way that the factory made this body. They gave this little, what should be a flat piece of real estate, a bevel, so it actually angles back into the body ever so slightly. So it's not a perfect fit like this, it's a fit like that, but that's exaggerated. It's very slight. Now I could glue in a shim and shave off a shim and all that and accomplish the same thing as just putting a brush stroke or two of epoxy in there, which is a little thicker build adhesive, and then Titebond the rest of the thing. So we're going to do that, and you have to realize that the factory neck right there, they used what appeared to be like binding material with acetone kind of mixed together to make a paste, and they squished that in there, and that was their filler / glue, which really wasn't glue, or did more filling than glue. So it's going to be stuck way better than it was from the factory, and it's going to solve a couple of problems along the way. So that's what we're doing as we continue the next project. So I did use a 15-minute epoxy and Tight Bond Original, the red label glue. The epoxy, the reason I wanted to use a fairly fast setting epoxy is because I want it to stay put. I don't want it to squeeze out. I want it to stay gelled and sticky right underneath that area, that little real estate area on the body where the fingerboard overlaps onto it. Wanted it to get tough quickly. Here I'm double, triple checking the alignment to the body, and the neck is looking really good. Actually, the next day I'm pulling the clamps off it, and I am really happy with how the fit is going with this neck to the body. It's actually better than the factory, but we won't tell them. Pulling off a little protective tape, and things are looking good. That is looking fine. It actually, I have hardly any finish damage too. I'm really happy with that. But we are changing the finish a bit, going with a bit of a burst look to it. But that's down the road. We'll get to that soon. Scraping away a little bit of glue squeeze out, and also prepping the original finish for some sanding so I can get some sealer and everything working on this. During the preparation of this episode, I received some unfortunate news. The owner of this guitar has passed away. I've been in contact with the owner's spouse, and she's a wonderful lady. We are going to be continuing on with this project. We're going to wrap it up. I'll be getting it back to the family as quickly as I can. I do wish the family the very best in this tough time. My thoughts and prayers and wishes go out to you. I am terribly sorry for your loss. Please, everybody, take care of yourself and those around you. Until next time.